We're back with another stuff review. This time, we're tackling a Big Mama Jama.
Look at this Hori Rap 4 sitting here waiting to be reviewed.
Yeah, look at it.
Review me, she says. What do you think about me? Let's debate that. You could say Hori, you could say Ori.
Because there's a H there.
Right. And it's one of my pet peeves is when people say the word humans instead of humans. So, to kick off this review and let you know what we think about it, I'd like to say I'm not disappointed.
Oh, yeah. Neither am I.
Yeah. And why? Why are you not disappointed?
Well, I have experience with the TE2 on account of the owning one.
Right.
It's a great stick. Feels titties.
It truly is. Now, there's some huge benefits to this guy. Of course, it's wired like any fight stick would be. Look at that little compartment there.
Yep. Is it a breakaway cable?
Let's see. Double check. Breakaway cable? No. Still not a breakaway cable.
Yep.
Yeah,
no breakaways.
Not the most popular
I don't
thing
think
in the
that
world.
Hori has breakaways.
They don't. As an owner of 3 of their products now,
yep.
You can see the reviews down below.
There they are.
None of them do. None of them seem to have that.
Yep.
So, no breakaway. So don't pull on it. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
Both of these things are expensive. You don't want them falling off and shattering.
Right.
It's not a Nintendo 64, which will...
that'll take a beating.
We do, yeah. New Year's party, we found that out. So, some huge benefits to this guy. First off, it's this right here. It is the Hayabusa stick that it comes with. And this stick is reportedly a little bit better than what you can get in the TE2, in the Mad Catz version. And
now, why is that? Are you going to tell?
So I've done a little bit of research to it, and a lot of it comes from the way that the 4-way receptors are set up inside of the mechanics on the inside, on the guts. With the TE2, it's a very box-like structure, so the stick has to go all the way over to tap, to go right, left, up, down, whatever it may be, up, down, left, right, whatever.
BA, slide.
But this one has basically like a concave version to it, so you don't have to go as far to hit the side of the receptor to trigger your movement. So it's a little bit more sensitive. So actually this has become one of the more popular sticks in terms of professional players over the Sanwa. That being said, the buttons, however, that come with this, and these are actually the buttons that you find on the Japanese arcade cabinets that if we're in Japan and we're like, oh, Japan's crazy, what's going on? This is what you click away on.
There it is.
However, the Sanwa is a little noisier, but they have a little more spring in their step. It's a little bouncier, so it feels like you're doing a little bit more.
Right.
These feel, I almost want to say spongy to a degree. It doesn't quite give me that satisfying click motion that a Sanwa button does.
Right.
Later, we're doing a partial mod video where a couple of these guys are going to be replaced with some Sanwa buttons.
That'll throw them right all over the fuck up.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But that's going to give us the advantage, though, that we can test them both out on the same stick and kind of compare and see which ones we like the most.
True.
It's so cheap and easy to replace buttons, though, that at this stick's price point, which initially was $149, but they just had a bunch of sales on it, got down to $119.
It can go, it goes low.
I
but
saw
it never
one
goes above $149.
I saw one the other day for $99 that they were having. Yeah, like Fry's Electronics or something, which is crazy.
Fry.
Because you can't pick one of these up at Best Buy, so.
Sure can't.
Yeah, so good for them.
Yeah.
But online deal, $100. Buttons on average are gonna run you maybe $3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So focusattack.com.
Yeah, Focus Attack for
super
sure.
Cheap. Yeah.
So if you don't like the buttons, just get new ones, and you can still come out a lot cheaper than the TE2 with what's a better stick. That being said, a few other just quick points of comparison. Doesn't have the display customability that you find with the Mad Catz
So
stick.
you can't remove this glass and put something over it?
I've seen some videos where some people have done that. I'm not necessarily comfortable doing that because you'd have to remove everything, pry this guy off, replace it, and then hopefully get it to glue down with some precision. I don't know how well it would last. I picture it coming back up or having weird glue lines or something.
Right.
We're gonna show you later in another mod video that we're doing though, some other ways that you can make this your own stick while still having the cheap price tag and the quality that goes along with it.
Yep. Cool.
So, this guy was tested in a multitude of games. It did see some Skullgirls action, which is phenomenal anime game. It did see some Ultimate Street Fighter 4, so we got to churn a little butter for you geef players out there, getting the whole 360 movement down, and MKX.
Which is primarily a 5-button game, so it's
kind of a 4-button deal.
Yeah.
It's. I'm not a stick player for MKX. I don't like it.
I found that, especially with my TE2, it doesn't translate super well. Just the block buttons, way the fuck over there.
And part of it is EX moves. In order to EX a move, you have hit your R2 and stuff. And you can button map. You can make that a little friendlier if you wanted to maybe like switch things up to fit your stick style or your play style a bit better. I just like to play the stock controls. That's just me. I don't know. So
What?
I don't prefer it for MKX, but there's a lot of phenomenal players that use sticks for MKX, so this could work very well for you.
What are you gonna do though if you're a player and you just haven't made the jump to next gen and you just have a PS3? What would you do?
I'd click the little button on the side, go from PS4 to PS3.
Snap!
So what's cool about this guy for a PS4 stick is it does have all of the PS4 features. So we do have the share button options. Also, the built-in touchpad at the top,
I never even
which is
noticed that.
super cool tech to have because it's necessary for navigating menus, and certain games are going to probably use it a little bit more in the future. And in true aftermarket gaming controller world, of course, it does not have a headset jack.
And actually, no sticks that I've come across that do.
Right, and I have seen some comments. It's possible for them to incorporate it, but it's incredibly difficult and incredibly expensive. So we're talking about a $100 stick, or maybe $199 for a TE2. I mean, that could make that a $200 and a $300 stick now just to get a headset jack. The downside is I am still a monitor player. I play on a monitor, so my audio comes through my headset through my controller. So I'm actually gonna be playing without unless I go get like a USB, but it's just the nature of the beast. It kind of sucks. I've just grown to adapt to it.
And I noticed, a lot of people have commented to us like on the fight pad, and they're like, you don't need a headset jack. You're playing fighting games, But sometimes you enjoy the witty banter that if you do end up playing against somebody that is,
Right.
It's all about a community-driven. The FGC is a huge community thing, so sometimes being able to chat with your opponent is a beneficial and fun thing to do.
Yeah,
so.
and I spent hours labbing with my friends.
Yeah.
We're going over moves and frame data, and just trying to build ourselves up as better players, get that level up. So it is important to communicate that way. So like I said, for Street Fighter specifically, I'm just gonna have to grab another headset that will plug into my USB and play that way.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it. So I'm not a gigantic fan of that, but I understand why it's been excluded from all of these aftermarket controllers and aftermarket sticks. So,
Yep.
not necessarily a downside, just what it is.
Yep.
Other features is it does have a turbo mode, and this also comes on the Hori FC4 fight pad that we reviewed, where you can assign a turbo to a button.
So when you're playing Streets of Rage and you want to run through, just
and you can actually assign it to, I think it's 5, 12, and 20 hits per second. So you can adjust how many clicks it does in that time frame. I would think this might be cool if you're doing like a side-scrolling shooter or something, like Resogun perhaps, where you just need something that's just constantly firing, and instead of annoying the entire household with, you can just
right. But
hold it down and fire away.
on the flip side, though, if you wouldn't use a fight stick for many other things in a fight game, so how would that turbo mode translate into a fight scenario?
These are very specifically designed for the fighting game world. What other games that you could play with it? I mean, it may not even be 100% compatible with in a lot of senses.
You don't have the dual sticks.
You don't have dual sticks and stuff, so it might not work with every single game out there. I can never think of a scenario where I would want to have multiple inputs, because that would probably just make you sloppy in a fight game. So it's a feature that's there, and I think it's technology that Hori created, so it's very easy for them to incorporate as a little bonus feature, but it's not something that you're probably going to be using maybe ever. Another thing, and this is actually common with the Sandwa sticks as well, is it does have a square gate inside of it. And for those of you at home, what that means is basically the stick can move inside of a square pattern. So it depends on what game you're playing, but for like diagonal motions, you can kind of have to jam it down into the corner.
Right.
Later in our mod video, we're actually going to replace that gate with one that is like hexagonal, so that we can hit those corners a little smoother. And any pro player will tell you, you don't want to ride the gate necessarily, but also this gate has a lot of area for this stick to move that could make my inputs a little slower and a little sloppier. If I'm like in the heat of the moment, I'm like, oh, Daigo parry video, it's not gonna be me. I'll just be the guy getting bodied. But
by me.
for a couple of bucks from Focus Attack, I picked up this little plate that restricts it, its movement to that. And like, for example, like Pac-Man has restrictor plates in it that only allow you to go up, down, and left, right, because you don't need diagonal motions.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Price point, awesome.
Yeah, and comparatively to the TE2, and sometimes the special editions of the TE2 can run upwards of over $250.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
This, you know, like we say, we've seen down to $99, and it's just as good, if sometimes not better, than the TE2. So
it's got a couple
steal.
things that are, you know, maybe not quite as good as the TE2, but they're so easily replaced that you're like, for a couple bucks, you get to mod this, make it your own or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a pro quality stick through and through for a very cheap price. This was kind of purchased more so because of availability of the TE2 being so limited. This you can have shipped to your house in the next couple days.
Right.
Like the availability through Ori
totally.
is fantastic. These guys make fight sticks and fight controllers, and you can order them whenever you want.
Yep.
Which I
And
love.
if you're on Amazon, it's a Amazon Prime item, so you get the free shipping on that. So
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer if you're.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, and like I said, we're going to show you guys some cool ways that you can mod this, kind of make it like your own little beast here too, which is pretty awesome.
So would you recommend this stick then?
I absolutely would. And I honestly say the way that that Ori has treated me in terms of availability and with the other products that I've seen, I'm a huge Hori supporter, and I will continue to do so. So I know they've got some other products, and maybe on down the line I might continue to pick some more up.
Yeah,
because I
absolutely.
truly trust the company, and I trust them
Well,
as a brand.
So yeah, it's a great stick, and you know I played on both. I've played on all the sticks we can get so far, and you know, it's really just a matter of preference when it comes down to it. Like,
And I mean, it's got a good weight to it and stuff. I mean, it's gonna feel like you've got something in your lap.
so yeah, so we recommend the controller completely. But that is to say, if you have questions about it, we will answer you. Absolutely.
We're great about that. Yeah, YouTube comments for sure.
Yep, we'll
and
answer you
then
right away.
where else could they contact us?
I think on Twitter.
What are those?
Magical Twitter accounts. Write us on there if you just want to know something. We are pretty good at responding to people almost immediately, you know, via the communication methods of social networking. We're connected constantly.
Watches and
Yep.
things tell
So,
us that you want to know.
you know, if you want to know something, we will tell you.
Yeah.
And
when Street Fighter comes out, if you want to play a set, let us know.
you'd probably want to play me more though, on account of the fact that I am not good at it.
Yeah, this is $99. He's free.
That's right. Snap. Oh, shade.
All right, kids, stay with us because we got more stuff coming up from this. Shootout videos, mod videos,
Yeah.
prior review videos.
Yeah,
Watch
absolutely.
them all. Find out what's best for you.
Thanks for checking it out, and I think there's a subscribe button probably somewhere around there. that you
Floating
can-
around that area.
Yeah, maybe
here, maybe
see what's good there.
Most definitely.
Look at it. Maybe just flick it.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.